It wasn't even because I'm a wonderful person, full of humanity, and never want to hurt people. At that time, I had just come out of a 20-year marriage in which I had spent 20 years rejecting my husband, or so I'd been told. In reality, I just didn't feel like sex sometimes, and he was blowing up at me for it. This is called sexual coercion, by the way. So being heavily coerced meant that I was giving into sex that I didn't want very frequently. This caused my nervous system to go on high alert, and my sexuality just completely shut down. I was fully impotent by the time my husband moved out. So here I was 2 years later dating again and feeling it all come alive again with this man, including the trigger. Because I'd been so conditioned to believe that every little thing I did that my husband didn't like was rejection, I was now very sensitive to rejecting men. On Substack, I wrote about this, and I described a flashback in which I'm standing at the kitchen window and my husband is behind me, lightly touching my back. He triggers me. And in this flashback, I'm scolding myself for rejecting him again because I didn't reciprocate his touch. I come out of the flashback, sitting across from this man at a coffee shop, doing the same thing. He was making a bid for affection, and I was not reciprocating. And in that moment, I wasn't thinking that it might be inappropriate for him to be reaching across the table to touch me on a first date like that. I was shaming myself for rejecting him. My body was still suffering that conditioning. My body was telling me this isn't the man for me, and my mind was scolding me for believing that. I was shaming myself for not being what he wanted. And I did the same thing with the other guy.